and welcome. My name is MiniBetrayal and this is Factorio Megabase. Well, last episode we built this. It doesn't work. So, on and off throughout the last week, I have been looking at this. I've been discussing it with my supporters on my Discord, and there are a number of issues with this. Firstly, as I pointed out very briefly in editing in the last episode, heat pipes actually have a capacity, like a throughput. So the heat is just not traveling all the way to the end here. I found a Reddit post from like a year ago, which seems to suggest at least that a single width heat pipe like this can only transfer heat 48 tiles. So let's see that. This one here is just spinning up. So let's see, how many tiles is that? Okay, it's 65 tiles. So maybe that post isn't quite accurate, but then, you know, it's taken forever to get here. How much power are we actually producing? 0.9 gigawatts. It's not bad, but we can do better. Also, there are certainly issues where I did all of this calculation working off how many steam engines do I need? Steam turbines, rather. And I worked out that I would need 276 of them. And that's fine. And the problem with that is that it assumes that all of the power generated by the nuclear reactors here goes straight to the turbines. However, they do go through these heat exchangers. So if we want our steam turbines to work 100% efficient, this one here, if you look on the right there, produces 5.8 megawatts. Oh, thank you, autosave. So together they produce 11.6. And this one here only makes 10. Or you can do it through the steam. So this makes 103 steam per second, but this consumes 60 per second. So they're not going to run full time. So there's a bunch of different issues with this. So I have come up with another design, which I will show you. We'll work through the maths and then we'll pop it down. Bit of a quicker episode today because I am stupendously busy at the moment with the university, but I can get something out to you at least. Scooch in front of that train. And here we go. This is going to be the new design. So, firstly, we only have one row of nuclear reactors. We've still got the same number of reactors. We've still got 12 in there. Although technically the other module only had 10 per module, just an extra 2 on the end. But they're in a single line. Now this means the neighbour bonus is only 200%, and working through the numbers, I think that means we miss out on about somewhere between 250 and 300 megawatts of power. But this makes it simpler, and it's still tileable. I can just pop that down on top of it like that, and it plugs in. Those 2 reactors on the end work. And okay, what else have we got? Oh yes, the other reason it's simpler is because we've only got the one row of reactors. I can just have inputs on one side and outputs on the other, so I don't need to worry about a loop all the way around. You will notice that I have considerably more heat pipes. So according to that same Reddit post, 4 heat pipes wide can transfer heat a distance of 89 tiles. So I've been a little bit more careful about how I'm doing that. In fact, there's some superfluous ones on the end here I can get rid of. And it should be the same on the other side as well, because it's symmetrical. Voila. Okay, yes, I've also worked off the number of heat exchangers for this design. So 12 reactors spread out like this, assuming that the line continues on indefinitely at least, makes enough power for 144 heat exchangers to work full time. So I have 144 heat exchangers. Now, as previously mentioned, a heat exchanger working full time will not fully power 2 steam turbines, but I've just put them like that because it's easier, and you know, you could do it perfectly, but it involves like steam storage and whatnot. It's more trouble than it's worth, I think. I spread things out a little bit further, so I've definitely got room for an offshore pump in there now. I don't need to worry about the landfill. I haven't yet decided if I want like the pump there, or I could get rid of those pipes and have the pump there instead on the very end. In fact, I don't even need the pipe on the very end, I think. Because last time we checked that a pump has enough water output for, was it 11 and a bit? 11.6 I think it was. That's 1200 per second, and these guys consume 103 per second. So 1200 divided by 103 is 11.65. And so, like, this one here is doing like 5 on that side, 5 on that side. This one here, well, on each of these rows, there's 18. So, in fact, we only need 2 pumps on this whole row here. So, I can make this a bit smaller. I don't need pumps on that end. I don't need pumps on that end. I don't need a pump in the middle. I still need the power there, but that means I can squish this up, so I can get rid of that, move all of that over this way. And yeah, because I don't need the pumps on the end either, I can also whoops, still need that one. I can squish everything over to the left. Ooh, I've still got some underground pipes in there. I don't need them. Yeah, I can squish everything over here to the left by 1, I think. Yeah. So I can make it a little bit smaller, which means the heat has to travel even less far, or words to that effect. So it'll make it even more efficient. Okay, so I'll have 1 pump there, 1 pump there, 1 there, 1 there. That gives us enough water. Okay, so let me just flip that around, pop the same thing over here. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good to go. Oh, the other benefit to this design is I don't actually have to worry about which side of the belt things come in or out on. So that's good. Alright, so stick that down there. And let's see if we can go and build it. Alright, so before I do too much deconstruction of that, I'm going to come back over here and reconnect to these guys, because as I deconstruct that, it's going to kind of break my factory a bit. Alright, I have some inventory space. Let's see what this does. Oh, I need to turn that on as well. Okay, so this is what land we have to work with. Now if I pop that down... I think I might put it up here. Which means I'm going to be left with that ugly thing, but I guess... maybe I'll just landfill across that whole thing at some point. Okay, so I put all the stuff down there. Let me... So how wide is that central trunk? It is... Alright, so there and 1... Okay, it is 1 thinner than the current central trunk. Right, somewhat predictably I just ran out of landfill. So let's go and see how much my factory's managed to build up, I guess. Apparently I deconstructed a fish. Excellent. Oh, I have just remembered. Last episode I said I was going to send these guys on a little hunt. And I never actually did. So let's like recoalesce them. They've sort of spread out a bit. There we go. There's the Spidertron we know and love. Octatron. Okay, you've got 18,000 rockets. That I think will do. Okay, and where were these nasties coming from? Okay, got nothing down the south, so it's all around the top. So let's just send you over to that base. I think you can get there. Yeah. Alright, we'll let you deal with that. Alright, landfill. Alright, so that's enough space for the central trunk. Let's just pop that down. Okay. I have no belt components on me apparently. That's fine, I guess. And then, where did it go? Here. I cannot actually see where I am. There. Okay. Right. So, if I was reading that correctly, and I really hope I was. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I think it was here, which is where those 4 things go out. Yes, good. Right. Spidertrons are up there. Yeah, Spidertrons took care of it. I didn't even see them take any damage. Alright, next. Let's go there. Alright, I think these 2 bases here are the culprits, because they're actually touching the pollution cloud at the moment. Whoops. But that should be the end of that. Okay, might have someone down there. Maybe I should bring them back round. Yeah. Alright, we'll at least explore to the edge of our pollution cloud. I think it should just be trees in there. Yeah, I've got expansion turned off. Alright. Right, back to landfill. Right, now, how far out do I have to take this? Do roughly the same again. Then another 5 tiles. Right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And that should just all be heat pipes. Okay. And then what I'll do, if I copy that with tiles, create a blueprint, I should just be able to paste this down on the other side. Okay, and that should also all be heat tiles. Good. Right, and then where is the second lot? Okay, that would be here and here. Really hope that lines up. It does. Good. Okay, so then, in fact, for most of that, it actually wants to be 5 wide. Alright, so now we've got the heat exchangers in. That should tell us where we need to go out for the steam turbines, which I think are 5 long, so I need 10 wide piece of landfill for this. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright, so that's in, and gratifyingly, we have space for the offshore pumps. So I'll pop them in, like that. Then we'll pop down the steam turbines. I'm missing a piece of land in the corner up there. That's fine. Okay, so we'll pop down the steam turbines. And then what's next? The power on those. Okay, so where do they want to go? I can do that. So power lives on a 2x2 piece of landfill, and it was there. Okay, and then I think that is everything from that. So if I copy that as a blueprint with tiles, should just be able to stamp that down there. I'm out of landfill. Of course I am. And I just dropped that blueprint. Okay, well, I can get it again. Let me go get more landfill. Okay, so now if I copy that and make it a blueprint again with tiles, should just be able to stamp that down. Yes. Okay. And then I think it's not quite rotationally symmetrical that way. If you notice, the power poles are in a different place. That's all right. So if I line up that with that, that with that. All right, I think that's the lower left quadrant done. Okay, and then should just be copy with tiles. Oh, I managed to get a bit too much there. Copy with tiles. There we go. And paste that up here. And once again, somewhat unsurprisingly, I'm out of landfill. But not by much. 51. That's kind of annoying, actually. Okay, and that is that. Now, you will notice I have moved the power poles on the top section a little bit. That's intentional. Is that rotationally? Yeah, it's not quite rotationally symmetric. It's mostly rotationally symmetric, you can see, if I pop that round. Ignoring the power poles again. Anyway, it's good enough, so I need to put down the rest of it. Alright, so got plenty of stuff left to do. Just looking at this, I think we're only short on just a few steam turbines. 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh no. I can see 11? Why is it only saying 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and 11. That's weird. But also, many heat pipes. So I'll need to go back and destroy my copper supply again, I think. That was close. I'm fast enough that I ran between two wagons. Alright, I'm not sure exactly how many heat pipes I need, so let's go back and just have a quick check. And we'll build what we can while we're out here, of course. Right, so I guess I just have to stand here for a bit. Unfortunately, these do not build very quickly. Right, so that's all that, and according to this, I need, well, at least another 300 pipes. And it will be more than that as well. Right, so I think what I might do is probably just empty my inventory and just work on collecting copper and steel for a bit. I think we're done. I don't see any more ghosts here, so right, so there's a couple of things that do need to be done. Obviously, we need a way in. Oh, actually, I've still got nothing on me because I turned it all into heat pipes. Let me go and get my stuff. All right, so we need an in and an out, and I'm thinking actually just because I've got the unused fuel coming in on this side, I might actually just swap these around. So if I swap the belts and the inserters, and I'll have to do the same on the other side as well. And then I need a power pole just to connect the two sides, and that itself wants to connect to the actual power grid like that. And then this all together should give us, I think it's about 1.4 gigawatts. Let's see. Alright, so things have finally managed to heat up to 500, and we're starting to see these turn on. Checking the graph there, we can see we're making a bit of power. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's a guy like with some kind of electric circular saw out the window. And I think it's giving me a headache. Alright, so all of these are actually working. Good, so probably a little bit of overkill with the heat pipes, but it's transmitting the heat. Where am I? There. Okay, so let me go and shut off the coal supply and we'll see exactly how much we're making. 1.8 gigawatts from that setup. That's not bad. Alright. Well, I suppose one thing to do is... oh, the switch is there. Okay, now let's switch on this system and see how much of the power we are using. Okay, we're using 1.2, we've got 1.8. That is actually just working. Oh yes, and I've got some belts missing around here. I had forgotten about that. Well done, past Mini, for remembering to do those things. Oh, and I still forgot to put a radar over there, so I can't check in on it, which is a little unfortunate. Anyway, that's all just about backed up. It's got to back up like through the like the buffers in the machines themselves, but that will eventually do its thing. Great. All right, let me head back. I'll pop a radar down over at the at the new power station. I'll also turn that into a proper blueprint with all of the changes I made. Oh, thank you, autosave. Right, off we go. Let me just check how much fuel I've got in this as well. Oh, I'm fine. Okay, on my way back I started exploring through here. It turns out there is just the tiniest amount of land right there where we can actually get through, even though the Spidertron can step over small bits of water. It looks as though this goes out quite a bit further, so I think we'll leave exploring the outer edge of this lake for another time, because that has the potential to be quite a big lake. Otherwise, yeah, I've made it back up here now, so let's go pop down that radar. Boop. And yeah, that seems to be working quite nicely. Okay, so let's that's not the button I want. There we go, that's the delete button. Okay, so if we copy that as a blueprint with tiles, power. Oh no, I can do better than that. Power. And I am instead actually going to give it the symbol of the nuclear reactor. There we go. Create blueprint. And what I'm going to do is, I'll just pop that there for a second. I'm going to put a chest. I'm going to put the chest right there. And that blueprint is going to live in that chest. So that way when I want to come back and build more, I can. So it needs 7,500 landfill, 1,600 heat pipes, 288 turbines, 144 exchanges, some pipes, some belts, some power, some arms, some offshore pumps, and 12 reactors, and that gets us 1.8 gigawatts. Alright, but I am going to leave it there for today. I know this has been a bit of a shorter episode than normal. We've basically just been fixing nuclear. But we do have this switched on now. I see now it's actually powered on, all the radars are there and I can see what's going on, even though it is dark. Has it all completely finished backing up? Yeah, that's all quiet there. That's all quiet. Is this one quiet? Yeah. It didn't take long to back up at all. But yes, we now have 8 compressed blue belts of green circuits that we can make use of in order to get some red circuits, in order to get some modules. We'll need the blue circuits as well. But for that, we need plastic, for which we need oil. So next time, I think we're going to start looking at some Megabase scaled oil refining. I will try and get that episode out next week, but as mentioned, it's a very busy couple of weeks for me at the moment, and that is not a small project, shall we say. But yeah, I will get something out next week. But in the meantime, I will say thank you very much for watching, and I will see you again soon.